There's no doubt that our electric grid is vulnerable, but there should also be no doubt that we have the ability to solve the problem with American ingenuity and determination. To that end, I'm pleased to report that Texas has several important bills to protect at least the Texas part of the grid. Now, there are 3 grids in the United States. There's the East Coast grid, the West Coast grid, and then there's Texas. Well, we have a plan to help solve the Texas EMP risk and really any threats to the electric grid in Texas. And Senator Bob Hall and Representative Tony Tinderholt have put forth legislation to address this problem. Now, that's good, and that will help the people of Texas, and it actually helps people everywhere, because if the Texas grid can stand up even in a catastrophic event like an EMP, the rest of the grid can be brought back more easily. Way to go, Senator Hall. Way to go, Representative Tinderholt. You can learn more about their bills, and you can learn about our battle plan for success when you download the battle plan for this episode. But beyond their efforts, we're also pleased to report that President Trump has issued an executive order on March 26 designed to force grid protection. Let me read a little bit from his order. Section 1 says the purpose: electromagnetic pulse has the potential to disrupt, degrade, and damage technology and critical infrastructure systems. Human-made or naturally occurring EMPs can affect a large geographic area, disrupt elements critical to nation security, economic prosperity, and could adversely affect global commerce and stability. The federal government must foster sustainable, efficient, and cost-effective approaches to improving the nation's resilience to the effects of EMP. What that means is, Section 1, we get it. We've heard you. Thank you. Section 2 goes on and talks about some of the ways that the policy could be implemented, and Section 3 comes out with this statement: "Is the policy of the United States to prepare for the effects of EMP through targeted approaches that coordinate whole-of-government activities and encourage private sector engagement. The federal government must provide warning of an impending EMP, protect against, respond to, and recover from the effects of an EMP through public and private partnerships." This is great news. This is the foundational basis from which we can build a solid EMP solution. Doesn't mean the battle's over. We need to understand it, and we need to be prepared to fight against those who don't want us protected for whatever reason. They don't want to spend the money, the electric utilities don't want to have the hassle. It is so important that this executive order be carried out, and we're counting on you to help do that. The executive order is an amazing development. Our audience played an important role in making this happen. In fact, we put out the battle plan for episode 22, and it had the top 3 steps of action steps. 1 was send this report and our Facebook videos to your representatives in Congress. I know some of you have done that, and I appreciate it. Step 2, recognize there are economic benefits to a resilient grid for your community, and there are. If we build a solution to EMP, we also have a solution to solar storms and so many other attacks to the grid. You know, Lloyd's of London talked about there being like a 12% chance every decade of a massive solar storm, a solar flare that comes off the sun and hits the earth and takes down the power grid. We need to protect against that. And as we develop technologies to address the EMP threat, we'll be creating investment opportunities, and we'll stay on top of that with you. And then step 3, it says Texans must support Senator Bob Hall's initiative to protect their state. Guess what? We're doing that too. We're making progress in all 3 areas.